Today we will read a story about a special kind of soup, but before that, let's get familiar with some words first. Cross. When people are cross, they are annoyed. The man looks cross. Look at the picture again and find the box in the corner. Cross also means to put one thing across another. Fingers are crossed here. Wagon. What do you see in this picture? Yes, 2 wagons. A wagon is a cart used to carry things. Wagons are usually pulled by horses or other animals. Another kind of wagon is a children's toy cart that is pulled by a long handle. Weave. When you weave, you make something by passing threads or strips of a material over and under one another. People weave cloth and baskets, among other things. The woman in this picture is weaving a mat out of straw. Look at the picture again and find the little box in the corner. Weave also means to move in and out between objects. The boy on the bike is weaving between the cones. Fancy. Something that's fancy is especially nice. It may have lots of decorations on it, like the hat in this picture. Or you might have a fancy dinner for your birthday, one that's more special than usual. Tame. We can see a woman feeding a deer. This deer is tame. That means it is a wild animal that has become used to being with people. For example, rabbits are wild animals, but rabbits that come from pet stores are tame, and people keep them as pets. Lively. Lively means full of life or full of activity. Look at this picture. Does the playground look lively? Yes, it is lively. Chore. A chore is a job that has to be done regularly, like washing dishes or feeding pets. Look at the picture. What chore is the boy doing? He is sweeping the floor. Pile. What do you see in the picture? Books are stacked up in a pile. A pile is a group of things placed one on top of the other. Ripe. When something is ripe, it is ready to pick or eat. Look at the 2 bananas in this picture. Which one looks ripe? Yes, the yellow one. Hollow. Something that's hollow has an empty space inside of it. What do you see in the picture? I can see a squirrel inside a hollow log. Okay, next, let's move to today's story. Soup of Freedom. It was a lively morning in Ms. Shuman's first-grade classroom, the first day back after winter vacation. Everyone was out of their seats talking about what they'd done during the break. "Happy New Year," said Ms. Shuman. "I hope you all had a good vacation. I have a surprise for you this morning, a new girl in our class. Please say hello to Josiane." Josiane looked a little shy since she didn't know anybody, but she smiled when the children gathered around to welcome her. Finally, Ms. Shuman said, "All right, boys and girls, it's time to sit down and get to work. We'll have more time to talk to Josiane during recess." All the children sat down at their desks, except Jordan and Ravi. They weren't paying attention and kept zooming their toy cars on the floor. Ms. Shuman didn't get cross very often, but she was annoyed now. "Jordan and Ravi, please take your seats," she repeated firmly. When Jordan and Ravi were seated, the morning's work began. They read a story and learned some new spelling words. When it was time for recess, everyone wanted to be the first to show Josiane the playground. During recess, Josiane told everyone she had lived on a farm in Haiti until last year. She told them about the chores she did there, like helping to feed the goats and working in the garden. Her favorite chore, though, was taking the pumpkins to the market in a wagon. She and her sister helped make a big pile of pumpkins on the wagon. Then their parents drove to the market. "My sister Rose and I used to tap the pumpkins to see if they were ripe," she said. "If they sounded hollow, we knew they were ready to sell." Jordan and Ravi thought it sounded really cool to do such grown-up things. They couldn't imagine taking the tomatoes their families grew in the backyard to the supermarket. Josiane told them that the market in Haiti isn't like a supermarket here. It's outside, and there are people selling all kinds of things, not just food. There are people weaving baskets and selling them. "There's a woman who braids hair too," she told them. Maggie said that when she'd visited her relatives in Puerto Rico, they'd gone to a market that was a lot like the one Josiane described. After recess, the class got settled and Ms. Shuman said that they were going to learn about how people celebrate the New Year in different countries. She told the class that she'd gone with her 2 boys to see the fireworks in town. Josiane raised her hand. "In Haiti," she said, "we have fireworks on New Year's Eve too. And the next day, we always have a special pumpkin soup. We call it soup joumou. That means soup of freedom." "Why is it called soup of freedom?" asked Jordan. "Well, a long time ago, Haiti belonged to another country called France. Back then, only the rich French people could eat the fancy pumpkin soup. Now, Haiti is independent, and many people celebrate by eating the pumpkin soup," she said. "Hey, it's kind of like Independence Day or 4th of July here," said Maggie. "The United States used to belong to England." "That's right," said Ms. Shuman. "Does your mother still make that soup, Josiane?" Josiane giggled. "Yes, she does. But one year my sister Rose left the pumpkin for the soup outside instead of bringing it into the kitchen. One of our tame goats ate it. Mama was cross, but Papa found another pumpkin, and we had our soup anyway." Everyone laughed at the idea of a goat eating the special pumpkin. Miss Shuman thanked Josiane and said that later they would talk more about how people celebrate the New Year. The next day, Ms. Shuman's class got another surprise. Josiane's mother brought soup joumou to class and everyone got to taste it. She taught the children how to say Happy New Year in Haitian Creole too. "Bonne année," they all said. "Happy New Year." The end.